black red thread clothes bags, multicam black clothes bags. We have one remaining multicam Chris rig in multicam. Mandrake stacked micros. See what I mean when I tell you Mandrake doesn't sell? There's two of these sitting here. Multicam black lever gun chest rigs, gray subgun micro, woodland lever gun chest rig, woodland 308 micros, gray 308 micro, Highlander cop rig, multicam black AK-M4 micros, woodland AK-M4 micros, 308 split front chest rigs, fanny packs. Looks like there is one remaining multicam black red thread, one remaining multicam black orange thread, one remaining multicam black red thread. What's inside these? This one's got black in it. The other one has red inside. Fupa danglers, woodland, ghost, arid, typhon, and multicam black red. Crossbody bag and typhon. We have a lot of options for left-hand micro rigs. Coyote modular LBV. Where you at? Coyote wrench rolls, roll up wrench rolls. Over here, what? Got it. I cut a bunch of strips for the last of those 3 radio mag pouches. The 3 radio pouches. New shirt for this week. America as fuck. Similar on the back. SOE tactical gear. America as fuck. Tool pods, we got quite a few options for tool pods right now. One very lonely gray visor cover. We shipped a bunch of boxes today, but of course the post office, any reason to be on vacation. We did another small run of OD black butt packs. Those are ready to ship out. Somebody's custom order for a multicam black purple thread diaper bag. Tool aprons, multicam black orange thread. Multicam black kit bags were finished today. More woodland flag day bags. So every one of those will ship an order. OD, some kind of micro, some flavor of micro rig is out here in OD. Let's see if we can find the bin. 308 micro rigs. Somehow somebody was able to order one we didn't have, so we ran another run. There's probably only 6 extras in there. If you want one, you will have 1 in 6 chances to get one. Send an email if you want to make sure you get one of those. If you're like, I don't have a 308 gun, no problem. Those will carry 3 M4 mags per pocket or 2 308 mags per pocket. They'll also do AK mags. Started boxing up regular start kits today. Think I was doing it at SOE. Be going twice as fast. Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah. Any Ghost large clothes bags? I don't know, Jason. Do you have one on order? If you do, just send a reply to your confirmation email. Spags, what up, buddy? Jason Barr, what's going on, man? How are you? Blake Riggins, what's up? Germinating seeds right now, right on, Mother Clucker, what's going on? Flag Day is your birthday, right on. Mulberries, no, I don't have any mulberries. Never even had anything that's mulberry. I can actually relax when I hear John walking around. It's raining right now. We just had massages, 90-minute massages. Joy, our massage lady, massage therapist, like real therapist, been to school and all that shit. She just left. I was going to work outside, and it just fucked with thunderstorming at about 6:30 here. So nothing got done outside today. Monkeypox patch right on. My grass hay fields are officially screwed. Too much. Oh, that sucks, man. Philip, what's up? Into the longest line. What's up? Tennessee has prolonged rains coming this week. Federal holiday for something that happened in Texas. What do you want? There's a fly flying around in here. It's going nuts. Germinating seeds, right on. The TY he showed them just a second ago. Nobody picked up that LBV. Jason, what's up? What are you guys doing for cameras, gates, perimeters? Had my shed broken into and wanting to lock my property down. I have $40,000 worth of fencing, and that's one set of fences, buddy. I have fences, inside of fences, basically a perimeter inside a perimeter, and dogs. We have cameras all around the building. We have cameras, we have actually 3 sets of cameras. We have 2 separate alarm systems. We have a camera that uploads to the cloud. We have a camera that uploads to internal hard drives. We have electric company power poles with electric company lights. And then right at the beginning of COVID, we actually doubled our light. Let me see if I can show you. If this cuts off, I'll be right back in. See that light there? On a big full-size power line pole. And over there, there's one facing forward and there's one facing back. And the offset off of the building to that fence line it's about 80 feet, right? So all the way around the building is a fence that runs. There's about an 80-foot perimeter around the fence there. And there's poles every 50, 60 feet. And there's a light facing forward and a light facing backwards. So there's a lot of illumination. And then there's a big perimeter fence around the entire property, and dogs in the back, dogs in the front, and we can put dogs around the building also. DJI action cams. I have not messed with the DJI cams, the action cam. Yeah, actually, yes, I did. I had some DJI cameras. I like the GoPros better. I actually have a DJI camera sitting. I have a lot of cameras, actually. Here is I think this is a DJI camera right here. No, this is an Osmo. I do have a DJI action camera. These are extra drones, GoPros, all kinds of shit sitting around. Bins, I have bins here full of cameras, bags full of cameras. DJI action cam is more reliable than the newest GoPro. Says you. Like, says you. How many, like, and I mean, maybe a big data pimp. Like, I don't have a clue who you are. But I shoot GoPros like every day. I fill up, I run batteries and batteries out of GoPros. I've got DJI drones, love them, fly DJI drones. I do several hours of footage every week off the DJIs. I go through probably 10 batteries worth of DJI each week. I've got Mavic 2 Pros, Mavic 2 Zooms, which I don't fly anymore. I've got probably, I'll bet I have 20 of those birds just from crashing them over time. Currently flying a Air 2S, which I have crashed into power lines. I've crashed into guy wires. I've crashed into trees. I've watched it tumble to the ground, and surprisingly, the motor arms don't break on these like they did on the other ones. GoPro 7 and earlier, the most reliable. Okay, so when we went from a 5 to a 6, stabilization got better. When we went to the 7, the stabilization got even better. Went to the 8, the blues in the skies got better. Went to the 9, and overheats. I've never been able to run this for a full battery without overheating. Went to the 10, I have 0 overheating issues. I use the piss out of the 10s. I have not tried an 11. But I shoot with a 10 every day. I filmed with a 10 today. I filmed with a 10 all weekend. I went through probably 12 batteries this weekend, and we're using the white extended batteries. Here's a 10 right here. I've also got a backup one that I carry with me, an 8 right here, which runs perfectly fine as well. And keep in mind, man, when I give you that reply of says you, I just don't know who you are. But I am very, very accustomed to dudes jumping on here and giving me bits of information. And when you come to find out, when you really look at it, they just are repeating some shit they read online. They saw, a Peter McKinnon video or something, and his first impressions. But Peter McKinnon, as you and I both know, GoPro sends him shit, but he doesn't really film shit with a GoPro. So, I mean, you might be the motherfucking GoPro master, and I have a ton to learn from you. But typically, dudes that are on here commenting, they don't even own the shit they're talking about. 7 is what I stopped with. The 8 put a sour... Man, I got an 8. I run the fuck out of 8 all the time. We run multiple angles with 8s. I put 8s on the edge of equipment. I put 8s on buildings and stuff. All the time I run 8s. I've never had a problem with an 8. Ordered a bifold tool carrier and a wrench roll a few days ago. Do you think the bifold carrier will fit under a bench seat in a older... I'm sure it will, man. What color bifold did you order? What color wrench roll did you order? Explain the giraffes. Let me start with this question. How many times have you been in a building, a restaurant, or a friend's house where there was a giraffe? We'll start with that. That's my line of questioning. I'm actually going to answer this in several questions. Multicam black on both. Yeah, you're waiting. Maybe not. Did you order it with a code? Did you use the Flag Day code? Because I have both those items. So I would suspect you are waiting on the free bag. These are all waiting on free bags. Though I don't see it here. I'm sure it's here. Cali compliant. Yeah, you're probably waiting on the Cali compliant bag. Never. That's why I have it. I have it because it's a conversation piece. We'll go to Blade Show, for instance, right? And there will literally be so many. I'll go to take a piss. It's about a 3-minute walk to the bathroom from the booth at Blade Show. I'll come back, and it will take me 30 minutes to get back in my booth. There are so many people there. People pay like an extra $100 to get into Blade Show early. And once they're in, they run to their favorite manufacturer. And there will be hundreds that come to SOE to begin with, right? Literally like fist fighting to get to the booth first. Same type of deal at Blade Show. There'll be a couple dudes in your booth talking you up and talking to you, having a good time. And there'll be their asshole friend that's not in the booth that's sitting over there giving you the stink eye, right? Whenever we do an event, there's always some asshole that will be here for hours. And when you were finally in the garage or whatever, he'll be like, why do you have all the giraffes? I'm like, because you're a fucking asshole. And you've been here for hours and haven't said a motherfucking word to me. And now you think you're going to give me shit about this. But now some words have come out of your mouth and we can have something to talk about in these giraffes. I just collect very weird shit. I have a bunch of skeletons upstairs. I have a lot of skulls. I have a museum's worth of stuff. And I like very weird things. So the weirder it is, the more I, want it. And Amanda and I will travel, and we go to a lot of antique shows, antique auctions, antique stores on trips. And nowadays, it has to be something very, very weird or very, very historically authentic, like a real piece of history. Because I'm to the point now when I buy something, it displaces something else. So I just buy very actual antiquities nowadays. So the giraffes started, it was just something that came up for sale that was weird. And nobody had seen it. I bought it and picked it up at an Oddities Expo in Nashville. And when we got to the venue, there was 100 people standing around the giraffe that I had already bought and paid for, taking photos and everything. And we had awesome conversations and took pictures with people at this giraffe. So as they came available, I bought a couple more, knowing that I could resell them because there's not a lot of them. People aren't hunting them like they used to. And then they put them on the watch list. They put them on the CITES list. It's not an endangered list. It's more like a kind of like a protected list, right? So a lot more fees come with them. So while you used to be able to buy a giraffe neck for $2,500, they are now 45 or even $6,000 depending on the size. So I can literally trip any day, like tomorrow, I could sell those giraffes and triple the money that I had on. But I actually enjoy them very much. I enjoy the conversation. Kids come here all the time. I'm like, do you want to see my giraffes? And when they see them, and you just see little kids just look up at them like they can't even hardly see the head. They're tall when they're standing at their feet. So that's why I have them. Placed 2 orders today and want to say thank you very much for providing us with badass equipment, badass woodland camo items. Corey, thank you, buddy. The Nerdy Rifleman, what up? Good evening. Battle giraffes. Yeah, I'd actually intended to make like saddlebags for their necks and stuff. And man, we're so busy. We just haven't done it. We haven't done like silly fun things. I've been on a Civil War stuff kick lately, so yeah, buddy. Overton, I got a cup that Mint Mr. Mustache probably drank from. I got a cup that mean Mr. Mustache probably drank from. I bet if someone offered John the elephant, I would totally. So Michael Jackson actually owned the elephant man's bones. His name was Robbie, actually. And there is a couple of companies that were able to cast. Let me turn this around here. There's a couple companies that were able to cast and do a resin elephant man full skeleton, as well as a skull. And it's very big, it's deformed. And you can get one for about $2,500. You can get a museum quality one for about $6,000. People don't realize that most of the stuff on display, like most of your T-Rexes and stuff, those are not real fossils. Those are resin replicas cast off of the real items. A ton of stuff in the museums, they are not real. So when you're a big baller, or when you're balling on a budget, and you think, I think I would like to have a T-Rex, well, you can get one for $28,000. You can get a resin composite, full size, but that doesn't come articulated, meaning put together, and it also doesn't come with the display stand that you are going to need to properly display it in your living room. It actually wouldn't fit in most people's living rooms either. You need a trophy room or something for that. You should really have like a big pole barn or barn dominium type deal. Real fossils catalog, exactly, man. You know how it is. If you've ever been to Smithsonian or somewhere, and you get to go back behind the displays. Like if you donate money and you get to go on the tours and stuff, they have all those drawers where all that shit gets pulled out of, plus all the basements and stuff. Do you ever glass your ex? No, fuck no. How do you store salt? I just store salt, even if it clumps up. The beauty of salt is it's a mineral. You can always chip it back apart. I store 50-pound bags of salt. Military school did Civil War reenactment every year, was badass. We do quite a few right here. We have the Battle of New Johnsonville, and you have like the Confederate on one side and the North on the other side. Here in New Johnsonville Historic Civil War State Park. Let's see. Why do I keep flipping this? Yes, sir, all day. Do you ever glass? Do you mean like, Derek, boys, by glass, there's a couple things that could be right. Do you mean floating them to see how fresh they are? Or do you mean, do I like lime them? I do not. I am not concerned about being able to crack an egg in the winter and scramble eggs. I have a couple hundred chickens here. even when my chickens go off laying eggs, we still produce more eggs than we can ever use here. We also freeze dry a lot of eggs. We freeze dry raw eggs, and we freeze dried cooked scrambled eggs, like a lot of them. Water glassing, yeah. I have all the lime and is it lime? We bought a ton of that shit. I have probably 100 pounds of that shit. 101 watching only 45 thumbs up. Yeah. Benchmark, what's up? We shouted you out on the we recorded we recorded a lot. We recorded the Pulling the Thread podcast today. We made a lot of that video off of comments from the video and from Patreon questions. And then Scully and I recorded a 1 hour Patreon only video off of questions from Patreon also. Pickling lime. Is it lime? Yeah, I guess it is. Is it pickling lime, John? I call one of my barn cats the saber-toothed barn cat. His canine teeth protrude like 3/8. Yeah, my cat does this weird thing with his lips where his teeth hang out too. I actually have two Smilodon skulls. We'll go upstairs. I'll show you. They're not real. Bone clones. Pretty interesting if you're interested in fossils or anything. There's a company called Bone Clones, and there's a couple other too. And they actually take and make a slurry of crushed up bone and pour, and they do museum pieces. They do real stuff also. But for people like you and I, they have reproductions. But they've got some badass reproductions. And it started with, he actually had a monitor lizard that died, and he articulated the skeleton, and that turned into that company. There's another company that we've done some stuff with called Stockton Skulls. And I actually bought a piece from him, and then Brandel shot a badass video of it. And that guy was super stoked on that. But he gets actual museum pieces and zoo death animals, and then he builds his molds off of those. Now, a mold, you can typically get 12 pieces out of sometimes. Sometimes the mold crashes and you only get 10 or 8. This is the world's largest liger. Came out of a zoo, died, and this is one of 9 replicas that he was able to produce out of the mold. And then here's a Smilodon. This is a super old one. And then that's a more modern one. But you can get different finishes on them, like La Brea tar pit, or like, you can get the white ones like you typically see. This is a big, that's a grizzly, small grizzly, black bear. I just thought that was fucking awesome right there. That's a replica right there, fetal skeleton. There's a lion. There's a wolf. There's a. That is, I think that's a little wolf too. There's a baboon, giraffe, bobcat, another bear. Salt expires. Haven't you seen the expiry? Yeah. Salt might expire from the chemicals that they're putting in. Anything that says anti-caking didn't come from nature. Welcome to SWE Tactical Equipment Museum and Post-Apocalypse Coming Zoo. Yes. Love the motherfucking Doom mask. What's the Doom mask? Where's the Doom mask? I liked this lion mask. This foo dog here is pretty cool. This safari hat. I buy plague masks when I see them, though none of them. I've never seen an actual real period time plague mask. I suspect most of them have disintegrated, being made from natural fibers and such. Right, kind of weird. We store Redmond's real salt. We do. We also store just co-op salt, right? Just rock salt. The only ingredient in it is salt, and 50-pound bags. And it's hard as a rock. Once it sits for any length of time, it is just once it goes back to a giant one rock salt. Love the skulls, like the Predator movies. Yeah, Redmond's is awesome. Do you have a BLV? You mean an LBV? Favorite bands has a picture of the exact fetal skeleton on the album cover. What's the band? What's the band? If anybody is around Nashville, right in Murfreesboro, of all places, is a museum for fossils and dinosaurs. And they actually have a perfect replica cast of a T-Rex in there. And they actually have the molds to reproduce it also. What single point sling adapter would you recommend for a Mossberg 590 Magpul stock? I can't remember what you said. So, being that it's a Magpul stock, does it have a socket for a QD, right? Can you put a QD swivel on it? If not, you'll never go wrong with a 550 adapter, because the 550 adapter, you can lengthen it or shorten it by simply putting another piece of 550 cord in it. And it doesn't bind. It's not loud. It doesn't scratch up your finish. And you can use it on any battlefield pickup. When we originally built the 550 adapters, it was for SEAL Team 3 and 7, so that they could literally use the exact same sling on any rifle. And for guys that have like 1022s with a standard stock, or deer rifles, or squirrel guns, or grandpa's old, shotgun, you can, that 550 adapter will allow you to use it on a gun that will not readily take a sling. Do I have a Tauntaun? I do have a Tauntaun. Yeah, I sure do. 1-to-1 replica. There's a lady named Niche Niche. She does museum preparations out of Texas. Amazing, amazing taxidermist. And she actually built these bobcats for me. She did this blue-eyed bobcat here for me. And she did this black red-eyed one. My intention is to do a purple and a pink one also, and then have them sitting on stands as a quad. Looks like you guys had a successful bead expedition. Yeah, she needed some jumpers or something. But the truth is, she probably has fucking millions of beads. I turned the wrong light off. Where did the big ass silver flashlight come from? Looks like something India. That's exactly what I'm after, professional. That is exactly when I see things and I think Indiana Jones's office, Department of Antiquities from the movies, Dumbledore's castle office, Mr. Megorium's strange emporium, when they go to the uncle's house and he's got the three-eyed frogs and stuff. That's what I'm after, right? I want one of those solariums that you crank. I want a big solar system hanging from the roof. And those old flashlights, when I was a kid, they were actually using those flashlights, right? Like Maglite didn't even exist. And I just buy things that are cool like that, right? Like old punching bags, super old catcher's mitt, leather football helmets, stuff like that. LBV, spell check, killing me. Yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. A serpent staff. I do have a serpent staff. I actually have a cane also made from snake vertebrae, big snake vertebrae. John, I have to send you one of my handmade Grail diaries. Oh, I'd love it, man. I'd love it. Human skin journals actually are a thing. Human harvested tattoos are a thing. There's some oddities groups I'm in where there's all kinds of human stuff that trades hand on a daily basis. Tennessee is one of the states that's actually rather difficult. You can have human skulls and skeletons and stuff, but they can't move in or out of state line. So like, if you wanted to have a bunch of that stuff, you would need a residence in another state, acquire it, and then move to Tennessee with it. But moving it across state lines, Tennessee is one of the states. There's like 3 states that are difficult. Said regular rock salt from the co-op. Yes. Yeah. Yakuza back. Yeah, they actually skinned out some of those dudes. They have them hanging, the whole bodysuit hanging in museums. Who made the staff? I don't know who made it. Magpul shotgun stocks have a hole you can install the female end of a QD cup on. The female end is around $15. There we go. Squeaky shoes. We need shirt. I don't think I could sell 120 of those shirts. There's all kinds of clever little things that are funny to you and I, but I don't think I can sell the volume to do a run of them. Where did the big ass silver? Okay, don't you also have a tauntaun? I think we've read the majorities. Former CBRN, John. That's not a game, or y'all play pass filter exchanges and exposure. Dano, we're not using any of those gas masks. I collect very old gas masks, and as you know, a lot of those old masks are filled with asbestos. Like I have a baby gas mask. You actually put the baby inside, and because it was so stiff and the lung capacity was not great enough, there's actually a pump. So you actually have to hand pump so that the baby can breathe. There's a lot of photos from early World War II during bombing raids where they would take the babies, put them in these masks, and put the babies on stretchers in the basements. And there was a nurse for every baby that would hand pump these things. Going to sell someone my skin, pay me now, and have it when I'm done. I prepaid a doctor to remove my tattoos under contract at Baltimore Tattoo Convention. Not happening anymore. He's dead, but was for my kids. Brian, there's a lot of people that will do it, man. Like it's actually like for somebody hearing this for the first time, it sounds like an odd thing. It is an enormous industry. Boy, China stat episode a little too late, talking about human skulls and moving them across borders. What did I miss? All right, so if I missed your comment, just repost it and we will address it. Matt Christopher, what's up? Paper is the only way to go. I'm going to sell someone my skin prepaid. Okay, I think we have caught up on these. How's everybody's weekend, man? We did the chainsaw class. We had about 20 people here. Brandel has already cut the real footage together. The video is 2.5 hours long. And I said, okay, what are you going to cut it down to? He's like, that is the cut down. There was over 9 hours of video, whittled down to 2.5 of actual real content. And he's like, dude, it's all like real information. So I don't know what we're going to do with it. We're going to cut it into some shorts, put some short videos up. I have to hear it. I know Chris is very soft-spoken, and we did not have him mic'd up. But we're already planning for a second class. We're not going to call it chainsaw class. It'll be wood processing class probably. And we have some other manufacturers that will be joining us for wood splitters, wood mills, timber mills, different types of stuff, saw companies, different equipment and such. So we did it, pulled it off, ran great, and we will make it 10 times better next time. Brandel's dad story. Isn't that awesome, man? Isn't that cool, Evan? And that's a dude where if you totaled your vehicle on the side of the freeway and they're like, we can't even tow this, he would come get it and fix your shit somehow. Why did you turn around and face me? I was going to cut him in half with these. That's what the cat's going nuts over. You ever notice a cat never gets stung by a wasp? They're always messing with a wasp. And if he does get stung, it doesn't seem to affect the cat. I actually have a jar full of wasps. You've sustained battle damage. when they die, you'll actually see the stinger poke out, like way out. Poke your little pricker out. Anyways, I will take that one and put it in the jar with all the other dead ones. 1-year-old dog eats scorpions. Go for the torch. Damn national treasure. Mud dauber. No, that's not a mud dauber. This is 100% not a mud dauber. This is a black and yellow wasp. The mud daubers are 100% black, more purple, and very iridescent. They make the mud nest. Cats are pretty tough. I have a jar full of used razor blades after shaving and keep my shrapnel. I've saved all my toenails for the last 10 years. I want to have a 10-gallon, like a 5-gallon Sparklets bottle, but not one of them bullshit ones, like the glass ones, right? I have one I'm working on filling with human teeth. National Geographic. Limited. Those aprons, those are tool aprons, multicam black orange thread tool aprons. I better move this. That asshole cat will get a hold of that thing and eat it. Put it in here. He won't know it's there. Are you going to make castings for the toenails available? No, we'll just sell toenails. People will be like, what's in that jar? I'm like, smell it. What do you think it is? Can you tell? What's it smell like? Does it smell like dirty feet? Professional in class. I like the used razor blades. We did some wrench rolls today. We've got some coyote for you guys that like that poop brown. We also did, somebody ordered this under custom. We built one extra. It's a coyote EDC pouch with black edge tape. Pretty cool. You just carry stuff in there and your little ranger eye patches. There's actually a whole nerd. It's a huge, look up EDC pouch or EDC or ranger eye, hashtag ranger eye or hashtag EDC pouch. There's a huge, it's like collecting comic books for these guys. Eat a jar full of wasps. Funny, I just keep them at the front door and let them do their thing in the summer. Then go out back door and nobody realizes that ever. It's basically like a badger. Who got the text? Anybody got the text? It's crazy what chaps will do. Yeah, isn't that cool? Especially for somebody who has never seen that, right? How many people have left the cities and bought a property, right? So they're kind of homesteading or they're living rural, right? They're out of the city, tree falls down, so they go buy a chainsaw. I mean, if I've run a chainsaw for 100 hours, I don't think that I've ever put a set of chaps on. Shit, I was even chainsawing yesterday, Sunday, after the class, after our deal on Saturday, and I still didn't put a set of chaps on. I have one, but seeing that, man, it drives it home. Chicago to Western Wisconsin. Exactly, man, exactly. That should be any sane human being at this point. Everybody's talking about the society collapsing, impending civil war. They're poisoning our food. They're poisoning the sky, right? All of the poisons and toxins they're trying to make your children take, right? I think everybody can agree on that. And I think everybody can agree that at least a majority of that is real. Maybe not 100% as real as some of the conspiracy stuff would have you believe. But there's something to every bit of it, right? What sane fucking person would stay in one of these liberal shithole cities? Do you see another major corporation just pulled out of San Francisco and shut down all their properties? They're like just telling San Francisco, you can have this bullshit. You can fucking have it. Smells like toe jam. Buck and Billy Ray's a good chainsaw channel. Yeah. How hard it is to get chaps back out. That's what I've back out. You got to take the side cover off. It gets up in there in the chain and the bar and the sprocket, and it's kind of a one-time use thing. Once you hit a pair of chaps, you're supposed to consider them rendered inoperable. Basically 30 years, never wore chaps, started about 2 years ago. Well worth the peace of mind. Yeah, man, there's some guys, their whole Instagram channels are chainsaw stuff, like major arborist stuff. And they're like, man, I wouldn't even wear chaps. I wear whole pants. 10% because World Economic Forum said so. We had EMS call a dude that hit his leg without chaps. Always wear, yeah. Even if you make it out of that okay, the chaps cost a third of what the set of sutures cost. Even if it's just sutured, even if you, that's without surgery, right? That's without a overnight stay in the hospital. More DA mag pouches in multicam with smoke loops. That is all. Send an email, man. That's the only way it'll happen. And we are super low on multicam right now, so I don't know how fast that will happen. They did not have multicam and they did not have Typhon on the truck, even though we ordered it and we paid for it. Will the DA mag pouches retain civilian market smokes? No, military smokes are too big. Now, with that said, you could easily whip stitch that with a needle and thread and just put a pucker in there, or you could even safety pin it and make it work. Always regretted I don't have a pirate peg leg. I see them, man. I see old prosthetics change hands. I've seen some prosthetics up for auction that were actually firearms built into them. I've seen some crazy stuff. I have quite a few prosthetics upstairs. Nothing that fires anything though. Chaps and a tourniquet. Yeah, and you know there's chaps with pockets on them. That's what I was saying. We should take the pair of chaps, cut them apart, reskin them in multicam black, and put multiple pockets, because most have only one pocket, if any. Have you ever messed with slip knot dot material? I'm not familiar with it. I don't know what you're talking. Are you talking about like a rubberized material? We have something called, I think it's called Tough Tech. It wears out over time though. For like a lifetime warranty, it's nice to have it on the bottom of a bag or something so that it doesn't slip, but it's going to wear out. The rubber's going to come off. Yeah, carry a tourniquet every day, everywhere. Exactly. Saw a 10-day aftermath of a groin of a very competent family friend. Holy shit, that's fucking nuts. Have you ever messed with slip knot fanny pack? Jarrett, I make fanny packs. I have a couple. I showed them earlier in this video. We make several other products that are larger fanny packs that are much more feature rich. They can be worn as a chest pack. They can be worn as a fanny pack or a crossbody bag. And they come with shoulder straps and they come with a waist strap. So you can run them low or high. Think horseback, climbing fences, caving, motorcycle riding, stuff like that. Very stable as a chest pack. What color edge tape, Velcro, and buckle do you typically put on multicam? Alpine? It can be gray or black. It just depends. Yeah, it's like a rubber dot material. Thinking of adding some as a retention method to mount. You don't need it. Bro, I've built this shit for 35 years. You do not need it for any, you do not need any retention, especially something rubberized like that that will eventually fail. Carry 2 tourniquets on any rig. Yeah, why would you not? But if, I mean, that would set you apart. You'd be able to say you did something nobody else does. But typically when people are like, hey, I've got this thing and nobody makes it. Yeah, there's a fucking reason nobody makes it. Because you're literally the only dude that's asked for it. We've seen mag pouches with rubber inside and shit. You don't fucking need it. I'm not, you do you. But I'm telling you, it's a failure point. If you're going to put it in your product, you're not going to be able to warranty the product. I've been at my local veterinarian and a 20-year-old kid walked in looking to get stitched up from a huge chainsaw gash in his lower leg. The vet did it. Yeah. The vet is going to be your friend in the future. I need that 24 mag bag. Man, people lost their ever-loving fucking minds. I said, this will hold 24 mags to give you an idea of size. Go find that video on Facebook. Go find that. It's like 20 seconds. Go find that video on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under Shorts. The comments in there are fucking insane. People get so fucking ass hurt over some shit they fucking misunderstood. Since we talked about smokes real quick, which one's easier to get and which one's more affordable? Man, I would have told you Patriot Smokes, right? I've got a bunch of them. We set off 6, 7, 8 Patriot Smokes a couple months ago for a video, and only one of them fired. I've got the new plastic injection molded ones. They didn't fire. I've got the metal ones. They didn't fucking fire. What's that company? ADS makes the cool looking military. They look like smoke. They look like bangs, micro smokes, and multiple reports. We set off 10 of those, and only 7 of those fired. Enola Gay, the wire pull ones, we set off 3 of those, and only 2 of those fired. So you're going to have some failure rate, and you're going to pay $35, $40 a piece for these fucking things. And you need to go into it knowing that they're not going to work, some of them. You mean a $5 million idea and $20 million up front? Enola Gay is always yeah, we've got Enola Gays here, guys. We've got there's a bunch. Shutter Bomb is another one. I suspect they're coming out of the same factories. Some of them aren't going to work. Like if your plan is to put that on your gear, throw it in the car, and you need it smoking as for marking or masking, you got a good chance that shit's not going to work. They do not hold up like actual. I have fucking pulled military smokes that are over 25 years old, and they deployed every single time. I've never fired a military smoke and had it not, and I've pulled hundreds of them. Like, we used to fucking get tired of throwing them out in the desert. And they always, same with pop flares, right? The silver tube pop-ups, parachute flares. I've never fired one that didn't work. That doesn't mean it won't sometime, but these civilian smokes are not reliable like mill smokes. Did you know Maya Coxlong from the Black Rifle Company? No, I have no idea. I don't even know the name. Joshua Winnie, my best friend's brother, so to speak, wife is a veterinarian. She's stitched me up more than a handful of times, especially when the situation surrounding the stitches is a bit sketchy. 17-year-old going to early boot camp. What chest rig should I get him MP gate duty? Brian, buddy, the real truth is they're not going to let him fucking wear it. The Marine Corps is not how it used to be. Guys using our kit, those were battalion reconnaissance guys, force recon guys, surveillance target acquisition. Those are snipers, 8541s, special units. Like, even in garrison, a lot of times, depending operate what they were doing, they couldn't get away with using kit. Now, I mean, the Marine Corps bought 1,000 side open gas masks from us for 1st Marine Division, and they even gave those guys shit about using. So as soon as they were deployed, they ran whatever the fuck they wanted to run. I use lifeboat smokes. Oh yeah, I'll bet those would work. Yep. We had the flare smokes, red on one side, orange on the other, that would go on the vests. Jason, I haven't seen those in a long time though. No branch will allow anything non-issue. Yeah, in garrison. Yep. Can't believe John didn't catch that. What are we catching? Airsofters say out of a batch of 210 are guaranteed to fail on every manufacturer. That's the same thing with the Baofeng radios, right? You see guys talking about they bought 12, 2 always don't work. That's the beauty of Radio Made Easy. Evan fires all those up. He fixes the antenna issue. He gives you a real fucking antenna. He programs them. There's always fucking little cunts that are like, I can buy that for 30. Yeah, you can, motherfucker. You know where it'll be? Sitting next to all the other bullshit you bought that's still in fucking packages. Most infantry units will let you run any chest rig once you prove you're not a tard, as long as it's coyote and as long as you can explain the reasoning behind using it. Well, this unit at least. Send your son your words. right, and support his decision. Rubberized your magpies with that grip stuff that you're able to spray on, yeah, plasti dip stuff. Don't spray your mag pouches itself. Spray rubber on, oh, on the mags is what you're saying? Lifeboat smokes, yeah. Willie Pete from 68. Maya Coxlong. Yeah, I don't know who that is. And I mean, there might be dudes on here that are like, oh man, I bought 100 Enola Gays and we pulled them and all 100 fired. I can only tell you what we did. And these were stored in this building. This building is heated. This building is cooled. This building has fucking 7 air handling units in it, right? It's very stable temperature in here. And these motherfuckers did not work. And they were not exposed to the environment. They were not carried around in vehicles. They were not mistreated. They did not fucking work. We bought, what's that company, guys? It's ALS, ADS. They make real cool plastic multi-report flashbangs and bang smokes and pocket smokes and stuff. Real neat. Airsoft company. I watched a ton of videos. When we got those fucking things, they sound like a shotgun primer going off. They are not fucking anything like a bang. They're not going to overpressurize. They're going to shoot that plastic spoon. You hear them, but it is not fucking, it's not going to work like a real fly. It's not going to work like a DefTech 25 does. It's not going to work like a Qualtech. It's not going to work like Smarex. It's not going to work like any of the real stuff. Cardboard smokes, if they get wet and you let them dry, they will spontaneously combust. Really? I've not seen that. Imagine your surprise. Guy saying different radio packages was overpriced or delusion. It's the same motherfuckers, man. And this should tell you something, right? We put up a video. I have a video with over 10 million views. It has over 10,000 comments. That is what normal society is. Like the normal people, when you're like, when society collapses, I don't have to worry about the zombies. Yeah, you do. You want to see what's in your community? You want to see what's really out there, right? Because typically, dudes who are into things hang out with other dudes that are into things, right? So if you're into guns or overland or off-road, you're going to be somewhat self-sufficient, right? Probably. We all have that asshole friend that just buys stuff and doesn't have a fucking clue how to use it. But for the most part, we're around other people that are kind of like-minded, right? And we think that that's what society is. If you want to see what your society truly is, go to Walmart on a fucking welfare weekend. That is what you have to contend with when shit goes bad. 108 on here, only 71 thumbs up. Come on, guys, hit that thumbs up for me. See that thing up there that says $4.99? Somebody gave me $4.99 because they thought something I said was of value or wanted my attention to read their comment. Send me some fucking money or do the free thing and just hit the thumbs up. It's free. It helps push this out. If you go and watch this video tomorrow, YouTube doesn't show you the comments, right? If you rewatch the video tomorrow, you don't see the comments. But what you do see is the comments people left after the video were over. And you'll see a lot of them tomorrow. People watch it tomorrow morning on the way to work. They listen to it, whatever. You will see a lot of comments tonight and tomorrow after the video's over with people saying, man, I knew you were on. I know you're on every night at 9 o'clock. I couldn't find you. Or they will tell you, I saw the video and it wouldn't let me in to watch the video. Push the thumbs up. It helps push out the algorithm so people like you know that we are here having this conversation. It's free. It costs nothing. Everybody has friends that started a business. Everybody has a friend whose business went out of business. You know why? Because people don't help their fucking friends. People won't even do the free shit, much less the difficult or the costly shit. People do not support people. If you go look at any of my short videos, thousands and thousands of comments on a single video. It's all hate. People who hate things spend a ton of time on it. People who love things spend no fucking time or effort. How many YouTube guys only read the super chats? Are you aware of that? There are tons, like you go to Tim Pool, you want Tim Pool to see your comment? He doesn't even see your comment because he's in super chat mode. That's how all the big YouTube guys do it. Dano, what up, man? Galians don't have dingles or tatas. So what would you say the best radio comms unit would be for civilians that want to communicate within miles over heels in the country? You need more power, man. You're going to need power. You're going to need antenna, you're going to need height advantage, or you're going to need massive power and height advantage, right? Evan builds all those radio kits. Get on his channel. If nothing else, watch some videos, make some decisions. But either way, you still want a handy talkie. There's a lot of times when you're going to want to talk where you don't have distance, right? They have a stubby little antenna, so I can talk around on my property, and I don't need to worry about other people I don't want hearing me. SOE bags came in handy for our extended hospital stay, welcoming our baby girl into the world. Got a lot of looks, carting them through the ER. Well, Bennett, man, congratulations. Fucking awesome. And thank you for choosing SOE for that very important day in your family's life. Thank you. Drive through Walmart parking lot. The first of the month, blasting Bone Thugs in Harmony. You can always see the purple Chrysler 300. She's usually parked crooked in the handicap parking lot spot right up front. And you will usually know it's her because she has thrown a dirty diaper out on the ground. Started going to my buddy's shop this week to work after work as union steam fitter to learn CNC machines for the free. That man gains skills. That's what we talked about today. Scully said, he's like, man, if you're the normal dude or whatever, make yourself valuable, right? Go get EMT trained. You don't have to be an EMT. Just go take the classes. Go learn how to weld. You can learn to weld for free for the most part. Go learn woodworking. Go learn metal work, right? CNC, that's badass, dude. That's awesome. One shotter of honey wild turkey. Dano, thanks, man. I'm a radio guy and already have radios. If I need more, I'll buy from Evan. It's tested and support. He's just a fucking good dude, man. I'll bet I've spent more personal one-on-one time with Evan in the last 6 months than anybody else other than Amanda and Austin and Amanda, Austin, Scully, and Brandel, right? Like, from people outside of my company, I've spent more time with Evan, and Evan is a fucking good dude. Like, I can't even tell you how good that motherfucker is. Just like he's always going to do the right thing. Even when the wrong thing is easier, or not even wrong thing, just, cutting corners would be easier, could make more profit, nobody would know. He's never going to do that. Couldn't agree more with Scully. The most valuable employee is a versatile. That's what we were talking about. Somebody had asked about nuclear war, collapse of society, Armageddon kind of shit, right? We've Civil War, division of the United States. We've broken into pockets, right? Make yourself usable. Add value, right? When you come to the big gates around Camden, right? We've put the moats in the trenches, and we've got that big fucking like M. Night Shyamalan, right? We've got those big, like the fireworm wall. And you come to the gates and you're like, can I come in? You're like, what skills do you have? If you're like, I'm a dentist, hell yeah, you can come in. You and Bear, Scully, the correct others. Yeah, Bear's another one, man. I went personally to meet Bear because I watched a lot of content. I believed what he said, but there's so many guys you see on social media, and when you meet them in real life, they are not how you fucking thought they were. Like, wholesome, down to earth, raising your kids, and you come to find out that that's not them. I went out of my way to meet Bear multiple times. And I watched Bear with kind of like a weirdo, right? Just watched from a distance and seen what was going on. And that is what you see. That's how he fucking really is. What you think he is, that's him. Can't make myself usable. I was in the National Guard. I can't make myself. Come on, man. Come on. Can you change out fucking run flats? Can you take that magnesium out of those? Can you split them Humvee wheels? Can you change the wheel on that LMTV that we're going to pick up on the side of the road? I'm a fixer. Can I come in? You can come in because I know all about your little vagina. I dropped my truck off at the shop to have a rear axle replaced. Told him just to replace the axle. Guy asked how I know. Told him I'm an ASC certified dude. Roll his eyes. I milk goats. Can I come in? Josh, yes, you can come anywhere. Anywhere I am, any fucking time. Josh, you are always welcome there. And Tyler milked goats too, orally milked them. I love your show, brother. I need it every night. It helps me calm down, relax, sleep when I'm done listening. Thank you for your time. Robert, man, we spend so much time just go, right? And when I do this show, when I do this, when I get off of here, I have to intentionally slow down, right? I go into a room that's very dimly lit. I have a wall, and there's about 30 lit globes, and that's the light that's in the room. The light is very dark. The room is cold, and I will sit there on my phone or my laptop typically and just kind of answer and go through social media for the day, interact with people on YouTube. And I have to sit down because if I don't, I will catch my second wind and I'll go for another 6 or so hours. I have to slow down at that point. And I just try to add value, right? We see so much stuff. We have something in our ear all the time. And it's really programming you whether you realize it is or not. And a lot of it is so doom and gloom and negative, and we need to know it, and it motivates us to put in a garden, and it motivates us to sock some extra food away, and maybe the power is going to go out, so maybe we should get a little more serious about our solar program, right? All real stuff. But the thing to remember, too, I'm 52 years old. Every single year, something was going to wipe us off the face of the earth. And every single year, I'm still here. If you truly believe times are changing, would you be better off if you had a lot more money, right? So if you were 20 and you spent from 20 to 25 preparing for society to collapse, right? We truly believe society is going to collapse, so I'm not worried about paying my bills and paying down my debt. And then from 25 to 30, you're like, well, society didn't collapse. Maybe I should pay this debt down. Maybe I should really get real about starting my business, right? If you'd have just had a business the whole time, your life would have been so much different. You wouldn't be beholden to somebody else. You hear people like, well, money isn't everything. No, it's not. But it is for those people that say that. Because if it wasn't everything to them, why would they get up every morning and go to a place they hate to do a task they hate for so little money? If you truly had $100,000 just in your bank account tomorrow, 100 grand, would you get up and do the same thing tomorrow that you did today if you had an unlimited amount of money? And the truth is, for 99.9% of the people out there, they would not. They would not do the same thing. Love the conversation. You do a wonderful job putting live direction in perspective. Tool Cove, man, I spent a lot of time. I spent 10 years not on social media. I spent 10 years waiting for society to collapse. I spent 10 years amassing stuff for the end of the world, right? And that's 10 years that I was not living for real, right? I was not putting a real message out. I was not communicating with people. We were not having events. I was not leaving town here. I would go to Nashville every weekend with a truck and a trailer and go to Costco and load up pallets. One weekend, we would buy a full truckload of tuna fish. The next week, we'd buy a full truckload of canned chicken, right? The old house, the first house, the basement was 2,500 square feet. You walked down there and it was all racking. It looked like a cross between Costco and REI. We still have all that shit. Most of it. Some of it went bad. But I wasn't living, right? We didn't go do anything. 2012 came and went. Exactly, man. Exactly. Y2K came and went. Can I put in an application? Can do all sorts of stuff. I grew up poor. Couldn't afford a mechanic, plumber, etc. Yeah, man. My first motorcycle was a Honda XL 175. I bought it for $75 from the auto shop. Didn't know how to shift, didn't know how to ride a motorcycle. Got it started, rode it in first gear, got to the first fucking stop, and it stalled out. Finally got it started, rode it about a mile and a half home, got to the first four-way stop, which was very close to home, and the motorcycle never restarted. Pushed it home. Started looking at it, there was no oil drain plug in the bottom. Rode it all the way home with no oil in it. Blew the top end. Mom took me, we bought a Climber or a Chilton manual. Went to Fun Bike Center, got a manual. Took the head off. Took the head, had the valves reseated. Put a new piston in it. That was my first experience with a motorcycle. Mom helped me rebuild it. Mom didn't know how to build that shit. We never had money for any of that shit. Busy prepping, we forgot to live. Yeah, man. Put a garden in. Have some animals. Set up a homestead. A lot of people set up a homestead, get a bunch of animals, and they're like, man, I hate goats. Well, then don't have goats, right? But you have to have them to know you hate them. To the nuclear war thing. In the nuclear thing like that, I'm working on Gentleman's House. It's on a nuke that used to work on a nuclear sub. A lot of info hit them. Facts, man. Get to pick their brain. That's cool, man. Somebody asked about nuclear bunkers today. You know, you can put them in ground. And then all of a sudden, a short came out, and it was a Canadian prepper, and he was talking. He had somebody on there, and they were talking about all you need is 3 feet of dirt, a couple hundred sandbags, right? You could bag your shit in. If you look at the Civil War, or not Civil War, but the nuclear war defense manuals and shit, those are written for civilians. The general population, you can berm your walls with dirt and shield from gamma radiation. Grew up in Lancaster. All right, guys, listen, I have to pee a lot. I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you for having a good conversation tonight. Is there anything I can do for you? Send me an email. We have a lot of social media that went out today. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok especially. I have a TikTok page, SOE Tactical Gear. I'm on YouTube. There is also a TikTok page you might not be aware of, Pulling the Thread Podcast. That is the biggest one, and it is fucking off the hook. There is no way for us to make money on it, though. So check it out. Have some fun. And if you're in there and you're communicating or blasting some dude, because there's a ton of crazy shit in there, help us monetize that in the manner of, hey, check out Special Operations Equipment website. Hey, John does a live video every night at 9 o'clock, right? That's what we're looking for. For every 1,000 people, all I need is one to come over here and go, hey, these guys aren't that bad. I actually like what they're saying, right? Join in. Help us drive people to some place that turns into business, which pays one of my employees that sits on all these sewing machines every day. Rick, thank you, man, for the super chat. Peon video, I heard some people pay a lot. Yeah, sometimes I go in there. Go to soetacticalgear.com. So I knew too, I don't know, man, you're of our people, your level, not a peacock. Guys, we do Self-Reliance Festival here. The 6th one will be October 14th and 15th. 2 days before that, we're doing Zero to Hero radio class. Evan's coming in, Radio Made Easy. And then Saturday, Sunday, Self-Reliance Festival. And then Monday, we're doing a chicken processing. And Joel Salatin will be here for the event and chicken processing. Come out and meet us. I promise you, when you come to one of our events, it's exactly like what you see on the videos. We don't pretend on the video, right? When you come out and, man, can I get a photo? Oh, I'm not really going to take pictures. I'm not doing it. You're not going to get any of that bullshit. We are exactly in real life like what you see on these videos. Come out and hang out with us. Come meet us. Shit, I'm sure you have something that we can learn from you. Keep at least 3 SOE business cards. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all you guys. TK4 Rats is my favorite SOE product. Right on, guys. All right.